What's up, guys? This is Kephas. If you want to get somebody into a video game, this is very important for everybody to know. Okay? If you want to get somebody to play a game, you have got to give them space. For most people. Now, some people are going to be everybody's different. Some people ask more questions. Some people want more help. But the key is, even for people that want more help, you have to be there to ask questions, but two things. Don't play the game for them, physically. Don't carry them through stuff. They have to do it themselves. Because if they don't enjoy the game themselves, then it's just a waste of time. You want them to really enjoy what they're doing themselves. And if they don't, then why bother? Let them, just don't. You'll hate it. They'll hate it. It won't work out. It'll make the game worse for both. The other thing is, don't handhold them so much and tell them, kind of the same idea. There's playing for them or carrying them in the game if it's a multiplayer game. Don't tell them they're doing everything wrong. They need to do this. They need to do that. They need to do the other. Let them figure it out for themselves and be there to answer questions when they ask them. Because especially with a game like Overwatch, you need to do this when you're playing Moira. You need to jump in there and this, and this. You need to heal more. You need to DPS more. Answer questions when they have them. Give little tips when they're open to it, which my wife is very open to. I'll take any advice I can get. I'm learning. So, but when she was learning the mechanics of the game, I wasn't telling her Moira strats, right? Because it's too much information. That's too much to process. It can get overwhelming. And in a game like, say, World of Warcraft, a good example is watch Guild Grumps, which is where Ross, I don't know if you watch Game Grumps, where one guy, Ross, has the Game Grumps play World of Warcraft. And instead of letting them figure the game out for themselves, he literally had put all their mods on. He had boosted them to the highest level, and then said set up their action bars and everything. And it was hit 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. That's not a good way to teach someone how to play the game. The way that you get someone into a game is you say, here's the game, I'm here if you have any questions, and then every now and then you come say hi, you join in, you let them suck, you let them figure it out, and then they figure it out. And then as they get more and more into it, then you can step in and show them more slowly and introduce them slowly to the game. They need to have the experience that you had when you started playing the game, and just imagine what it would have been like if someone had come along and taken all that away from you. Now, some people might say, I wish I had somebody that would have shown me everything, because it would have been so much easier. But the truth of the matter is, it's a hindsight feeling when you learn everything. A big part of any game is learning the game, learning the magic of the game, learning how to get better yourself at the game. Most people, if you go in and just take all that away from them, they won't stick. They won't be attached to it. They won't be interested in it. They'll lose interest quickly, and then that's it. So you have to let people figure things out and be there to help them have fun and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's what I've done with my wife. I did that with my cousin when he got into WoW, and he was hooked on it for a long time until he got busy. He got a life, but we had fun together, and so I've been playing games for years, and I've gotten lots of people into the games, and, had so much fun with different people playing different games. And I can tell you that 9 times out of 10, that if you want to get somebody into a game, you don't push it on them. And then when they do want to give it a try, you do not take it over and tell them what to do. You let them figure it out, and you be there to help them. You be there to have fun with them. And, don't because it's easy when you've got it all figured out and then they're not that good because they're new. You're like, oh God, they suck. Well, of course, everybody sucks at first. That's fine. Let them suck. If you're going to, in Overwatch, you're going to lose a few games maybe because of them. Maybe not, because we really didn't lose that much when she was playing Overwatch. But even if you did, even if you were going to lose some games because they're not very good, so what? It's whatever. That's part of the fun. You just enjoy being with them and enjoy playing, enjoy watching them learn, and get as much out of it as you can, and that's what you do, So, a lot of times when I get people in the WoW, sometimes I won't even play with them. I definitely won't power level them. I won't do things with them because I don't want to take that experience away from them. And people usually appreciate that because, I know a lot of people, man, with WoW. Oh, I'm power leveling my girlfriend. She just started playing WoW. I'm like, that's a mistake. How's she ever going to get into the game? And sure enough, 6 months later, your girlfriend stopped playing. Yeah, she just really wasn't that into it. I can't imagine why. Not saying that's always the case. I'm sure there are people that could care less or they want to be carried or whatever, and it's whatever. That's everybody's different. But in my experience, most of the time, that seems to be how things tend to go. So, anyways, there's some, unsolicited advice. So for this one, you have to kind of read what the quest is. I've done this so many times. So it's fire, earth, wind, and water. So it's fire. Yeah, so 2 tiers is water. They try to trick you. So fire, earth, air, water. These are the 4 elements. And then everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. I mean, you could go different ways with that. I was thinking either Avatar or Captain Planet. Either way would have worked. I went with Avatar because I think Avatar was actually good. Yeah, so that was a fun little quest. We're really moseying on this, aren't we? But yeah, anyway, life's been great, man. Having so much fun. I'm like such a gamer nerd. It's ridiculous. And I've been having so much fun because literally we wake up, play Animal Crossing, switch to Overwatch, and then take a break to eat and maybe get out of the house every now and then to go for walks, and work and stuff like that. And then we go back to playing games again. It's great. It's a dream, man. What do they say? Family that plays together stays together, right? That's kind of how it is. It's been so much fun. So yeah, it's having people to play games with, people that or people that you get to know, is always great. So yeah, we play Overwatch on the Switch. I play on Xbox still some. I haven't played Overwatch on PC in a while. I just I don't know. I don't like using mouse and keyboard. I like playing with a controller. I feel like it gives me a bit of it takes away some of the disadvantages for me. I feel like I have a much easier time when I'm playing on a console. And people have gotten better on the Switch too. At first, when I first started playing, even when I started playing recently again, I hadn't really gotten my MMR up yet, and oh my goodness, I think there are a lot of 5-year-olds that maybe have a Switch that got Overwatch and they're playing, and it's rough. I feel really bad for some people because they just don't know how to play. But now that we're playing a little bit, there are good people in Overwatch for sure. There are definitely people that know how to play the game, so they do exist. All right, what exactly is it wanting me to do here? This is 3 of 8 Twilight. Oh, I'm stupid. I forgot. I got to free those guys. That shouldn't be hard because I don't think these guys are even going to attack me now. So, yeah, I forgot to free you guys. Sorry. I got to free the slaves. Been busy dealing with everything else. Talking about Overwatch. So, but yeah, so then, of course, we've got Shadowlands to talk about. Which I really haven't been... I don't know a lot. I know that it looks exciting, and I've looked at a lot of the character customization stuff, which has me all excited, man. I'm glad. Good for them. Good for Blizzard for finally going and looking at the customization, which is something that people have been wanting from this game for so long now. It's nice to see... it's nice to see some diverse options for humans. I think that's great. I think that'll be cool. I think I'll probably have one of everything because humans are awesome, and they're oftentimes they're the most aesthetically pleasing when it comes to armor. But just having a bunch of different human characters, I don't mind that at all. And that's what's crazy is now you can have a bunch of humans and they're not all going to look the same, which is cool. So all these customization options for people that like certain races, because a lot of times I feel like I have to make one of each race or something like that because I don't want all my characters to look the same. It's kind of boring, right? So now you have so many more options, being able to change the eye color and ear size for blood elves. That's stuff that people have been asking for forever, right? So yeah, I'm all for that kind of stuff. So I think that people are going to have a lot of fun with the customization aspect. But I will say one thing about having customization is great, but it still comes down to how good will the game be, because the customization aspect will be exciting for a bit, and then once you get into the game, once you've created all the characters you can create, it's going to be time to play the game. And will that aspect be good? We'll see. A lot of it looks good. from what little I've seen. I watch videos, but I like to get in myself and play it. So, and then even then, I try not to get too deep. I know it's probably the worst thing for a content creator for WoW to say, but, I'm still pretty selfish when it comes to games. I like to play them firsthand and experience them myself. So, I don't know a lot yet, but I'm still excited. I'm definitely going to play Shadowlands, and I'm excited to make more guides, man. I started making all those guides like a year ago, and, I'm excited to do it again when the time comes. So, I've been doing them for so long now. I mean, I started making the guides, the more recent ones, a year ago. I've been doing guides for a long time now. So, I love making them. So, that's one thing for me now is that, I have this added thing that I look forward to each time there's a new expansion out. Because, there's the game itself, and I get to play it. But there's also me making guides. So, that's going to be fun. I think this time, unless there's some significant changes to endgame, when you hit level 60 in Shadowlands, you're going to get all these more abilities. If that's not the case, I'm going to try to get guides out right away. Because I don't want to wait anymore. I don't want to make people wait. I want to get them out there. And I can play a class for a little while and get a feel for it, and then make a guide for it. And if there otherwise, if there are significant changes, then I'll try to level up quickly as possible, and then get guides out there. But we'll just have to wait and see how it's going to go. But it looks like we're going to get a lot more in-depth rotations, more abilities, which is good. That's good. That's what the game needs. I think that the current way of doing it is, they went too far. They went too far in cutting out abilities, which, that's something that happens often. They do that a lot. It's hard to get it just right. So, it is what it is. They do their best. I don't fault them for it. I'm excited to see what they do. Hopefully classes are going to be fun to play, and the guides won't be too difficult, and the macros won't be too difficult to make. So, we'll see. And man, I'll tell you, if they get out a BC expansion, holy crap! BC, classic BC, legacy server, whatever you want to call it, dude, that's even more guides I get to make and more WoW I get to experience. So it's gonna get crazy though, man. If there's all these different iterations of WoW to play, you gotta level up characters all over again. Hopefully, if they make a BC, classic BC server, whatever, then you get to transfer your classic characters over to BC, because that's how it would have been. That's how it would have been before, right? I mean, obviously you started off in vanilla and then you went to BC, so it makes sense if they let you do that now. You never know. Maybe, boy, wouldn't that be something if they went all the way up to every expansion had servers for them, and if you wanted to, you could either level up in the modern game if you wanted to level up quickly, or you could literally go back, level up in classic or BC or any expansion, and then transfer that character over to the current game if you wanted to, or leave it there. That'd be sweet. Then you could really get the old school WoW experience. I never even thought about that, but I think that'd be kind of cool. You could level up. You could play the game however you wanted, and then it would all be a little bit connected. You could advance a character to the next expansion or leave it there. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like that idea, actually. I think that's something they should consider. Personally, my opinion. But we'll see. We'll see what they end up doing. It's good. But I'm happy, man. Right now I've been having so much fun with games between Nintendo, between Blizzard, just all this other stuff coming out. There's so many games to play. I played through Final Fantasy VII, the remake. Great game. There's just a lot of good games out this year, which is good. I think having good games out this year is very important for a lot of people. It helps people through a hard time. And I've shared stories of how games have helped me through hard times. So I know it's real. It's legit, So I think it's awesome. But yeah, we got plenty of games to play. I'm excited about it. Seriously though, I say this a lot, and I've got plenty of games I've got chosen. If there's ever a time you guys think you have a game idea that you'd like to see me play, let me know in the comments. I can't guarantee that I'm going to play it because, there are some games I don't like, and there are some games that I don't feel like I'm very good at. But yeah, let me know a game, and I might give it a shot. So yeah, I tend to stay away from, because I don't know how you guys feel about it. I thought about actually when Final Fantasy came out and I bought the remake. I thought about playing that on YouTube. And the reason why I didn't is because my console ports. There we go. Because that game is very story heavy, and for one, I tend to skip story. I like to focus on the gameplay. So I thought that would be weird, and I didn't know how that would go over playing. Plus I don't read. It's kind of weird just like letting the story play and not talk. I don't know how you handle that. And also, I have mixed feelings about games where the story is kind of the main focus. I feel like that kind of robs. I mean, it's what it is. People have the choice to not watch it, of course. But I feel like it just, I feel like it takes away a lot from that game for people. And, me playing it just kind of like, not that like people wouldn't buy it. I don't know. It's just weird if the experience is the story and not the gameplay. I don't know how good that is for the types of videos that I personally want to make. I know there are plenty of content creators out there that do it. So I don't know how I feel about it. Like for me, like I said, I'm not saying it's bad or that people shouldn't do it. I'm just saying for me, I don't know how well it would go. So games like that, games like God of War, Horizon. I mean, there's gameplay to those, but they're so heavily story focused. Whereas like Pokemon, I mean, there's a story, but it's not that big a deal. Zelda, Mario, those kinds of games, the story isn't really the focus. The gameplay is more the focus. There is a story, more or less, but the gameplay is really what it's all about for those games. So I tend to focus more on those kinds of games for YouTube, even though I might enjoy some of those games myself. Admittedly, though, like a lot of the, the movie games, the PlayStation games that people love, like, a lot of those games I'm not as into. The cinematic games. I mean, I was really into like Metal Gear. But Metal Gear had a lot of gameplay to it, a lot of really unique, interesting gameplay. It was like a movie. It was a very cinematic game, and that was cool. I like a lot of that stuff. But if the gameplay doesn't hook me, I don't really care how good the story is. I care more about how good the game is as a game, if that makes any sense. If I wanted to watch a movie, I'd watch a movie. Now, I don't represent everybody. People feel differently about stuff like that. But that's kind of like my mentality. So I guess I am more of a gameplay-oriented gamer. But at the same time, I love a lot of Overwatch, for example, World of Warcraft. Are really good stories that I really, really get into. The Witcher is another great example. A Witcher is actually a really good example of what I really like because it has a good story and it has really good gameplay. So that's why I think that's why, a lot of times you'll find some of the best games or games that get really popular are, like universally praised, are games that have both, because I think Witcher 3 is one of the most beloved games ever. Even like, Grand Theft Auto 5, I think the reason why people love that game so much is because it has good gameplay and has an incredibly good story as well. And a lot of people consider Grand Theft Auto 5 to be one of the greatest games, like the greatest game of all time. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say it's the greatest of all time. I don't know what I would consider to be the greatest game of all time, objectively speaking. I know what I think is the greatest of all time. Yeah. So I think that like a good game has to have both. Unfortunately, I tend to focus on games on here that mostly focus on gameplay because I think that I make better videos from those types of games. So yeah, that's kind of the idea. So if it's a game like Horizon, or even God of War, which has some fun combat, but it's very story focused. I don't know if those games are the kind of games I like to play on YouTube, if that makes sense. So if you see me, like sometimes I don't focus on those kinds of games. That's why. Even if it's like a really popular game that people might want to check out. Final Fantasy VII, I was like, I might do this, man. It might be fun. And it's really popular right now. It's brand new. It might be fun to play. And I was like, it's not for me. I want to experience that story in that game without having to talk and just focus on it exclusively. So that's a lot of times my logic when it comes to stuff like that, So, but man, that's why I do a lot of Zelda and stuff like that because those games are like they're really easy to do. You just play them and no one cares about the story. You just kind of blah through it and it's all fine and good. Especially Mario. Oh my gosh, like why does Mario even have a story? But I don't know. My mentality about that might change. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but yeah, thought I'd explain that, I guess. Luckily, World of Warcraft has no story. Just kidding. World of Warcraft has an incredible story. Just that you don't experience a lot of it in the game. It's kind of like Overwatch, man. Like, Overwatch is really bad about that. They have this incredible story, and you never, ever, ever get to experience it in like a lot of it in the game. Every now and then they'll do some type of event where you get to see some story. But man, if there was ever a game out there that existed that needed desperately more story implemented, it is Overwatch, because it has a really good story. My wife and I are both really into it. Like, she's not like, she likes some fantasy stories for sure. Like, you know, we were into I'm trying to think of, she wasn't really big into Game of Thrones that much, even though we watched it together. Which, you know, in hindsight, who could blame her? No, that was really good at first. But we both liked The Witcher a lot. We both really enjoyed that. And Overwatch, she's really into the Overwatch story. She's like, where are they going to do something with this? It's a really good story, man. I want to know what's going on here. And yeah, welcome to the Overwatch fandom for like the past, 4 or 5 years? It's crazy. We've been starving for more story. Blizzard, what's up with that? So, and I'm really interested in the story for this game. I'm really interested to see where it goes. There's a lot of crazy things that seem to be going on that, like, this time I have no predictions for it because I really don't know what's going on. So hopefully it's going to turn out well. Hopefully they do some good stuff. I think that WoW definitely needs to, you know, bring out its characters again. I know that like it likes to try to focus on us. I actually think that, I mean, I don't know. People have different opinions, right? And it's fine. You're not wrong for how you feel. I actually think the story is better when it doesn't focus on us as much. I think it's better when it builds characters and interesting plot lines with them and the world and builds the world, all that kind of stuff. We're there just to help move the plot along. I'm fine with that. When the plot revolves around us, I don't enjoy it as much. I don't think it's as interesting, personally. That's just my opinion. I think that having strong characters that we are working alongside of, and if they take the spotlight, I'm okay with that. I know a lot of people that didn't like, you know, like giving credit to Anixia's kill to, who was it, Varian or something like that, giving the credit to, you know, different bosses that we take down to certain people. A lot of people didn't like that, but I don't know. I kind of don't mind it as much. Or even just like a band of adventurers, you know, that's because it's like, that's you, and it's like, okay, that's fine. It's like an off, you know, yeah, we defeated them. The denizens of Azeroth defeated the bad guys. I'm okay with that. But I still think that you have to focus the story around, you know, certain characters. I think it makes it more interesting. I mean, even like Arthas and Tyrion. Like, even Tyrion in you know, in Wrath, I think he was a good character. People love that guy, you know. Just what he did, how he helped us win. We couldn't have done it without him, but it was still us that obviously fought and won, but it was with the help of Tyrion. You know, that's fine. Or if we did the vice versa, if somebody else gets the killing blow, but we helped them get there every now and then, I think that's fine too. Because it's not like it's one of us fighting the boss. You know, it's like you got to have a group of people to do it. So, I don't know. I kind of feel like it would be good if they start to shift the focus of the plot around building stronger characters again and making them interesting and tell that story, because I just think it helps tell a good story. So, you know, I definitely think that since Warlords, you know, having us be kind of the center of the storyline sometimes is, I don't know, to me it's just less interesting, because I like to tell my character story. I'll focus on telling my character story. You focus on telling the World of Warcraft story. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's kind of my perspective. And the more characters there are that I care about, the more world building there is for me to focus on. You know, the more I care about the story, the more I'm invested, the more I want to see more story. Otherwise, I'm just playing the game and it's like, oh, cool, I do everything. That's fine, I guess. Me and like the other, million people that play this game all did the same thing. I guess that makes sense. You know, that kind of stuff. I don't know. It's weird to me. So, yeah, that's how I kind of think about it. I don't know. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and keep on going. We're going to take these guys down. We are flying through this. So we started this at 82. Now we are at 85. I might finish this up and then go on to Miss. I think it might be fun to, in the next episode, maybe we'll pick things up and go visit Miss Pandaria. I mean, I could stay here, but I like to try to get a little bit of everything. So that might be, you know, what we end up doing. So we will see. Actually, how that goes. Oh goodness, I'm getting attacked by 10 different things. It's alright. We got this. But yeah, we gotta go take on this like boss dude here. Again, like I don't know. This is a fun zone to level up in. Like it's really easy, really straightforward. Usually I can get to like by the end of it, maybe 83 or 84, but like we're already 85. It's crazy how fast we're leveling up in this. It's nuts. So yeah, I kind of wouldn't mind getting the Pandaria. I kind of wasted that. I wasn't supposed to use that yet, was I? Hopefully I don't get myself killed. Because he does some type of maneuver, and I kind of need that. So I don't know. We do have a healing ability, so maybe that'll come in handy. Just gonna blow him away though. Luckily I have pets to help me. It's very nice. Oh man, I kind of missed the Firelands raid. That was kind of a fun raid. I remember like that was one of the few raids I was into post Wrath. So I was into that one, and I did Twilight Highlands. No, Twilight. What's the Twilight one called? I forget. The one with Deathwing. Oh, that was called like Dragon Soul. Not even Twilight. What am I talking about? Yeah. Anyway, that one was fun. And then I don't know what my favorite raid would be post Ulduar, post Wrath. My favorite raid still to this day is Ulduar, but maybe I don't know. Maybe Firelands. I don't know. I don't know. A lot of people might disagree with that. I thought Firelands was fun. I guess Warlords had a couple. Oh, Blackwing Lair. Was that Warlords? Yeah, that was Warlords. That was it? No, it wasn't Blackwing Lair. What was it freaking? I'm sorry. Blackrock Foundry. That's what I'm trying to think of. That was a cool raid. I like Blackrock Foundry. I think Blackhand was an amazing final boss. Legitimately a really good fight. He's such a good voice acted character too. That was one good thing that came out of that expansion was Blackrock Foundry, I think. I think that was one of the coolest raids. Personal opinion. Anyway, we're gonna finish this up. I have one more quest to turn in outside, and we will kind of move away from this place and move on to Mists of Pandaria in the next episode. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, let me know by clicking that like button, and feel free to share it with your friends so they can enjoy it as well. Don't forget, you can subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon to be notified as soon as new videos are posted. You can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and if you'd like, you can support this channel on Patreon. Links to all of this can be found in the description below. This is Kephas. Until next time.